Hello, my wonderful friends. Megas here on a beautiful day in Asha. If you're brand new to the channel, we're Zoroastrians. We are the Magi. Today, we're going to be talking about Egyptian mythology. And I think it will blow your mind how relevant this is for today. You know, in every video I put out, every message, I want it to be something that changes your life today, right now. I don't want to waste your time. And I promise you, what you will learn from the Egyptian mythology, from Ma'at, from Horus, from Isis, will completely change your life today. You can implement it in your own mind. You can have peace and joy and protection in your own home. And you'll see how if the world would hold this truth, it would change the whole world. And I'm thinking here as we have elections coming up, oh my God, if we could only go back to these teachings, what our world would look like. If our leaders would hold Ma'at, that highest truth, it would change everything. So Ma'at, it is Asha. It is the spirit of truth. Now, you know, I have a religious professor. He's a professor of world religions, it used to be my nearest neighbors. More houses have been built, but I built a beautiful friendship with him. And he feeds me books. And he told me that the Egyptian religion was number one, then Hinduism, and then Zoroastrianism, because Zoroastrianism and the Hindus, they were one tribe, and then they branched off. And then came Judaism. But the original religion teaches the same thing that Zoroastrianism teaches. What we call Asha is Ma'at, which is truth. Now, you got to see this. What is our spiritual journey, right? It's to become godlike. Right? In Christianity, Jesus and you one. You and God one. We want to be godlike. So I need you to see this with truth, because you have to have truth as your foundation to be godlike. And then we have to know, well, what is truth? Because, isn't that subjective? Don't people have different ideas of their truth? And so what is the original truth? What is the real? And this is what you'll find. Matter of fact, if you look in the Oxford Dictionary and look up truth, it says reality. The real reality. And we talk about this in Zoroastrianism all the time. It's the real above all real. You know, in Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, he talks about your perceptions make your reality. Right? So you can have a wrong idea, a wrong belief, a wrong truth, right? You might be calling a lie truth, but it's your truth. And it'll make a reality. It'll make a real life, a real family home environment, a real hell in your own mind, a real society that maybe is dysfunctional. Look around at the world, my friends, but there is a Ma'at, there is a Asha. That is the only thing that could come from a perfect creator's perfect mind. That is the truth. That is the real. To be godlike, you must have. And, you know, when these masters, these messiahs bring this message, right? The dark system wants them crucified, slain, just burned alive, removed from the earth. And all they're presenting is what we call Mazda, the all good spirit, the only a good God, right? The loving Father, not a God that loves and hates. And I told you guys yesterday, I will teach different today, right? This is the new Magus. I read all of your comments, and I'm going to be a better teacher for you and for Asha. So I'm not going down my old trails as I start this, but I do need you to see this, and you already do. Our God is unmixed, undefiled, undiluted. That'll always be a part of our message. He's not love and hate. He's not peace and war. And the people and religions that followed the Egyptian idea of Ma'at, the Zoroastrian idea of Asha. You know, Asha and Ma'at, they don't travel down a continuum. Right? Ma'at doesn't go from love and peace down to anger and war, right? Depending on how humans or others are acting. She's always that highest principle. That's Asha. That's Ma'at. I love that so much. That's why I love reading about Ma'at so much, because it's Asha. It's that highest principle. And a matter of fact, let me show you two pictures here in these hieroglyphs that I think are beautiful. So much I want to talk about. So look at, this is Osiris. And you'll see, this book is huge. It's not easy to move around. But you'll see he's standing on this platform. And this platform, it's actually a hieroglyph. You'll see in the name Ma'at, her name written out in the hieroglyphs. It's that platform. It's a sickle. It's a hand reaching out giving. And it's bread. Oh my God. There's so much in that. So the platform is truth. To be God, good, you have to have the real. You have to have the highest truth. And then the sickle. Oh my God, guys. Will you give me a minute just to go down a quick rabbit trail? When I made up the sigil for Asha Come, there were more than one thing in the sigil that disturbed me a little bit. And one of them was the sickle. When I got done, I kind of went into that trance place between awake and asleep, and I drew the sigil for Asha Come, and I saw the sickle, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of disturbing. I didn't know what that meant till today. This was 3-4 years ago, when this book first came out with this sigil. I didn't know today till what it meant. In Ma'at, in her name, is the sickle. And what it means is it's seed time and harvest, right? It's cause and effect. And that's what that very sickle is in her name. So her name, it has the foundation of truth, the highest truth, the real, right? A lot of people have an idea of what's real and what's truth, but this is the perfect creator's perfect idea of real. Asha. Those of you that follow this channel know Asha. The sickle, I didn't know till today as I was studying this, is in her name. And it's what it means to me is you can't fool the power, people. It's seed time and harvest. It's cause and effect. If you hold the highest truth, cosmic law, it will manifest. You hold the highest God good, it will manifest. What are you attuning yourself to? Right? And if you have wrong ideas of the real and truth and God, you have a wrong foundation. That's what will manifest in your life. Seed time and harvest. Then it's the beneficent hand reaching out. It's giving. What's it giving? The bread of life. This makes me think, of course, of Jesus, right? The Magi, we love us some Jesus. Not big Christianity fans, but we love us some Jesus. We worship some Jesus because he is the bread of life, as a matter of fact. Right? What does he say? The law of life in Christ Jesus sets us free from the law of sin, sickness, and death. Right? Ma'at is law, order, harmony, truth, the real. It's Asha. My friends, it's that bread of life. If we'll become one with that truth, we'll take that into us. That brings me to the next picture I want to show you here. I'm sure you've seen this before. It's the scales of Ma'at, where in the afterlife, there's the scale with a feather. The feather represents Ma'at. And then the heart of the person who has passed is put on these scales. Now, the heart cannot be heavier than the feather. It can be the same weight as a feather or lighter than, to pass on to what we would call heaven. How does that happen? This is about you have to give your heart to truth. Your heart has to be pure, right? And as you give your heart to Ma'at, to Asha, to the all-good God, to Spirit, and you get Ma'at's heart, you get Spirit's heart, right? The two become one. It's the same thing. If you've seen me, you've seen the loving Father. You've seen my heart, you've seen God's heart, right? We want to stand on that platform of truth. That be our foundation. Now that makes me think of a couple things, Asha 10 and Asha 11. If you got your book, go to Asha. Well, let's go to Asha 11 first, then we'll go back to 10. Asha 11 says, I will release my own ideas to receive God's idea. I will release my own truths that I'm built my life on to receive God's truth. I will release what's real to me to get the real above all real. Asha, Ma'at. Right? It's that humbling. We bow. We've been taught a certain way, right? When you're from 0 to 7, everything you were taught by parents, grandparents, society, church, governments, it becomes your truth. 0 to 7, you are a sponge. And whatever they said was truth, whatever they said was God, whatever they said was real, becomes your truth, your God, your real. Are you willing to set those down for a minute? You can always pick them back up. You might discover, oh, some of these are real. Some of these are truth. Some of this is God good. But the ones that aren't, you don't pick those back up. It says removing the corruption puts potentialities to their proper use. You must burn out the impurities to find true essence. Purity is a must, right? You can't fool the power. Seed time and harvest. You have to have that real, that truth. Where do you find that? One place. The book written inside of you. And you know, I say one place, but it's also written in the stars. And I've seen this beautiful thing with Zoroastrianism and with Egyptian mythology. It's the star Sirius. There's light codes hidden in the star Sirius. Zoroastrianism, we call it Tistra, right? And the pyramids were aligned with the star Sirius. And when you look up there and you see it flashing red and white and blue, it's screaming truth. It's showing the real. It's light. It's a pure light. It's that light that darkness cannot live in. It's that truth that the lie disappears. It's so beautiful, so powerful. Why did I close my book? Now I got to go back. Go to Asha 10. What energy am I really? Right? Well, it's kind of like that picture there. When you get to the end of your life, and they're weighing your heart with a feather. What energy am I really? And it brings us to the 42 precepts of Ma'at. I just got emotional there because I just remembered something. Wow. In that place, will you guys allow me to get weird for a minute? In that place between awake and asleep, many years ago, I heard Spirit speak so directly. The 42 is very important. You guys probably remember me making a video about that a long time ago. And I was asking you guys, and I started looking up everything that had to do with 42. I came across a famous, I think it was the first black baseball player. Was it Jackie Robinson? It's been so long since I looked this up. I looked into the numerology and I was saying, oh, okay, 42 doubled is 84. And I'm looking at all the spiritual and I'm looking at, just everything to do with 42. This just hit me. The 42 precepts of Ma'at, which is Asha, which is truth. When you leave your body, some would call that death, and you're standing there with your heart wide open on the scale, What energy were you really? It doesn't matter what you tried to present to the world. What were you really? Did you really give your heart to God? Did the two really become one? Can't fool the power. Can't lie your way out of this one. Did you really create a home for your children that was loving and kind and safe? Did you really vote in a way that wasn't selfish, but what is the best for society and the world and the all? And if you read, matter of fact, we might go deeper into the 42 precepts now. If you read them, I mean, some of them might be easier for a lot of us. I have not killed, right? But some of them are like, I have not got angry. Oh, I have not slandered. I mean, and there's some of them you're just thinking, ooh, I could do better. And I've also seen those written out before in kind of a fun way. I want to find it. So there's always the opposite of, right? So there's, I have not killed, but then there's like an affirmative, like, I have brought life to others. You know what I mean? It might be, I have not hated, but then there's, I have loved. Beautiful. We might have to make another video and go deeper into that because I could see something beautiful there we could do. But today, we want to build, and like I said at the beginning of this, I want something that today you make your life better, your mind better, your home better. And then as a community, a collective, will make this world better. Imagine when our world leaders hold Ma'at. I just got chills through my whole body thinking about it. It's possible. It's done. It's been done for thousands of years before, and very successfully. And then it fell apart. Imagine the world leaders with Ma'at, love and truth and light in their hearts. Imagine leaders trying to outlove one another. Imagine homes like that, where mommy and daddy are competing to see who can love each other the most. Imagine what our hearts will feel like. As we heal ourselves, and that's what I'm still working on, right? You guys saw yesterday's message. If you didn't, go back and watch it. And I'm doing my best to stay focused. Matter of fact, this is a good test for me. Here we're talking about the 42. When I was looking up the 42, this is a good test for Megas here. This is kind of funny too. I found that story of Elijah, and the 42 children were making fun of his bald head, and he prayed for a bear to come eat them. And not only did I just tell that story very well, I just thought of something else. When you look at a lot of those Bible stories, they would like try to show how their God, Jehovah, was stronger than the gods of the Egyptian religion, right? And so you'd see with a lot of the stories, it was the Israelites, the followers of Jehovah, winning out over the gods of Egypt. Those 42 precepts are considered 42 gods in some of the different writings. So maybe, I never thought of it. I've never seen anyone teach. A lot of the stuff I'm showing you, I've never heard anyone teach before, but it's good stuff. And this could be something. Maybe when that was written, they were trying to show how Jehovah was more powerful than the 42 gods. Something to think about. I don't know. But that's kind of wild to think about, the 42. But the 42, just like I heard Spirit tell me, is very important because it's an energy check, right? That's what Asha 10 is. It's an energy check. It's time to get real. It's just you and God, right? We're not trying to impress anybody. We're not trying to put on airs. Maybe you're like me, a spiritual teacher. Maybe you're a pastor. And so we try to present a certain image to the world. On the other hand, I always try to show you exactly where I am. And I did that in yesterday's video, very honest. I lay myself bare before you because I think that's what's best for our community here at the Order of the Magi. And I'm still dealing with healing, forgiving, and it's still a process. But Asha 10 has us go in and look at those 42 precepts. What am I really? What energy am I really? That's what I'm creating. That's the foundation I'm standing on. Am I really godlike, this godlike? And again, here we're talking about that ma'at, that asha, that God that's not on a continuum, right? A lot of the religions, they teach a God that can be love or hate, peace or war, and can move up and down that continuum depending on how others are acting. So with ma'at, with asha, again, it doesn't move. It's the highest principle. You just come up to it. When you get too uncomfortable down here, the sin, the anger, the unforgiveness, the perversion, I mean, there's a lot of things in it. Go through them. And we might even do more teachings on that. Go to the comments, let me know if you want to do more. They're uncomfortable, right? It talks about adultery in there. When you commit adultery, if you get caught, right, you could lose your wife, the woman you really loved, or husband, depending on, you could only see your children once in a while on weekends or weekdays, depending on which one you get. It can make a hell on earth for you. It can break your heart. You can repent, and then when that person you had the affair with, you find out, is not that pleasant, not what I wanted, not worth trading for what I had. Again, very torturous, right? And pretty soon you want to start coming up to ma'at. Ma'at doesn't have to come down and get into anger, right? And war and vengeance. I'm going to teach you a lesson. Always just up here shining bright. And we want to come up to that, right? Because we come from the light. We're made of the light. We shall return to the light. Why? Because Asha is, Ma'at is, truth is, love is, peace is, joy is. That's what's real. The perfect creator's perfect idea is the only thing that's real. The rest is lie and illusion. Are you ready to leave the lie to come to the truth? Another beautiful thing I've seen in Zoroastrianism and the Egyptian religion, we have Asha is truth, and then there's the Druj is the lie. Same thing here. We have Ma'at, and then there's chaos, right? Ma'at is truth, order, harmony, right? Same as Asha. Those of you that know Zoroastrianism, you know exactly what Ma'at is. It's the same spirit. The name doesn't matter. It's the spirit behind it. Just like a lot of people use the name God, but their God isn't good, right? So it shouldn't be called God, but they use the name. So we don't really worry too much about names. We worry, what is the spirit? What is the energy? What is the frequency? That's what it is. So they can call themselves anything they want. They can say God, but we know frequency. We can read energy, right? So, you get angry, jealous, hate, war, kill men, women, and children. Almost started to go down that again. I'm growing and learning. But that's not what we consider God. You can call yourself anything you want, but we have a standard, a ma'at, a truth, a real. Right? What is the definition of truth? It's the real. It's the real above all real. And when you're ready to leave those mixed energies, again, for the new people, Zoroaster means pure starlight, undefiled, undiluted, unmixed. Our God, our truth is just good. And that's what sets these two religions apart from all the others. All the others, their God is mixed energy. It can go up and down that continuum, wherever it needs to be, right? With Ma'at and Asha, it's always the highest, and it don't move down. You come up, right? Where we're meant to be. Did you guys enjoy that? I love it. I saw some things that were kind of blowing my mind. I'm kind of anxious to go back and watch this again. I did pretty good, right? Yesterday I said it's going to be a new Magus. I still said some of the same things, but I don't know how to teach it without saying those things. But I think I said it in the right way, not out of my hurt, right? Did you sense that? Did you feel that? Let me know. That's how I felt, though. I feel positive. I feel happy. I feel good. And you know this. I love you.